Happy Victory Monday, Ravens fans. Welcome in to the Ravens Rundown, sponsored by Mint Mobile, with plans starting at $15 a month on America's largest 5G network. Sign up now at mintmobile.com/chatsports. On today's show, we have the latest Baltimore Ravens news and rumors, those involving J.K. Dobbins heading to IR. Also on the breakout performance of Gus Edwards in the Ravens win. And I don't know how many people know this, but the Ravens are 8-2 after a Taylor Swift album is released. So, how about that? Taylor makes new music, and the Ravens win. So, what better way, besides listening to T Swift music, than to celebrate a Ravens win than subscribing to the Ravens Rundown? If you're a diehard fan that loved that win on Sunday, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel now for the latest Baltimore Ravens news and rumors and more each and every day here on the channel as we keep you up to date with your favorite team. Subscribe now, youtube.com/RavensTV. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of the latest happenings here on the channel. Let's begin with J.K. Dobbins, as he has been officially placed on injured reserve. And listening to what John Harbaugh and the coaching staff had to say about this situation, it's not the IR that would end him in the season. It sounds like that this is a thing to take a precautionary measure, as J.K. Dobbins is going to go through arthroscopic knee surgery, and the earliest he could potentially return is about week 12. We're looking at about a 4 to 6 week situation for J.K. Dobbins here, of him not being available at this point in time. So with that, this is what John Harbaugh had to say about the situation in regards to Dobbins. As he was going, he had a range of motion issue with scar tissue, so we're working with him through it. He's making progress. We measure all that stuff, and he's making, I'd say, measured progress, probably what you would expect. He's a little impatient, which is in a good way, and he wants to try to speed the process up. This particular surgery kind of got into the conversation about 3 weeks ago. I think it's the same one that New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley might have had. I'm just speculating on that, and get the full range back in 4 to 5 weeks, something like that, 6 weeks, something like that. So he just wanted to do it. Harbaugh went on to say he wanted to do it. He didn't want to slow down. If it doesn't work 100%, then he's kind of on the slow road again. He's making progress, so there's no new injury or anything like that. He just wanted to take a shot at speeding up the process. So that's the update from John Harbaugh there. And we want to show some love to J.K. Dobbins. Wish him a speedy recovery. Hopefully he gets back on the football field soon. And with that, go ahead and just spam 27 in the chat. Show some love for J.K. If you want to see him back on the football field soon, put 27 in the chat to show some love for the Ravens running back. So what exactly are the Ravens missing with J.K. Dobbins? Well, the statistics of the 4 games that he played this year, you can see there were some bits and pieces where he played well, had a touchdown against Buffalo, ran for over 5 yards a carry against Cincinnati, but the touches weren't there. His workload was not big in that stretch. They were kind of easing him into things in his stretch there of coming back onto the football field this season. And here's the deal. The truth of the matter is that with J.K. Dobbins or Gus Edwards or other running backs, this is not unfamiliar territory for this Ravens team to be dealing with. It's unfortunate. We hope that J.K. Dobbins can get back out there soon, but the reality is this is something that the Ravens have gone through before. And their depth chart now that J.K. Dobbins is going to be gone for a while and hopefully back before the season ends, Gus Edwards slides into that number 1 running back role, and he looked really good yesterday. More on the Gus bus here in a moment. Kenyon Drake is the only Ravens running back to have a 100-yard rushing game this year. Lamar Jackson has had 100-yard rushing games, but Kenyon Drake's the only running back to do so. And then there's Justice Hill as well. So what now? We'll see what happens here. But I got to tell you, I liked what I saw from Gus Edwards. I think it was a step in the right direction. And my confidence level for this running back group without J.K. Dobbins, if you would have asked me this question yesterday, before what I saw from Gus Edwards, my number would have been fairly low. But I liked what I saw from Gus Edwards, where I would put this number a little higher personally for me, based on what I saw yesterday, that Gus has made some really good progress. What say you, though? Be honest with me. What's your confidence level with this running back room without J.K. Dobbins right now? Scale it for me 1 through 10 in the comment section below. Today's show is sponsored by Mint Mobile. Plans starting at just $15 a month on America's largest 5G network. And you may be wondering, I got a cell phone, but my coverage is so inconsistent. I keep having to turn on airplane mode just to try to get the best coverage possible. Well, with Mint Mobile, you don't have to worry about that. You can switch service seamlessly between 5G and 4G LTE, and you can start saving today. Plans at $15 a month. It's a great deal at mintmobile.com/chatsports. What are you waiting for? Look, inflation, I hear it every time I turn on TV. Everybody's trying to save a buck here and there. Why not start saving on your cell phone plan? Mint Mobile is the place to be. Start saving now. mintmobile.com/chatsports. Tell them that Tyler Jones sent you, and you'll be glad you did. So the Gus Bus is back. That's the good news, that even though J.K. Dobbins is going to be out for a bit, Gus Edwards came back yesterday, and he really shined. It was the first game that he's played in nearly 2 years, and we'll show you these statistics here in just a moment, but it was a really good day from J.K. Dobbins, or from Gus Edwards, rather, of what he was able to put together on the football field in that first game back. And a really cool moment after the game, you can see there on both his left and right wrist, the number 4 and 5, that's 45, honoring the late Jalen Ferguson, sack daddy, who passed away, of course, this offseason. A very unfortunate situation there. And Gus Edwards, first game back, honoring his former teammate there, as the Ravens, of course, are playing this entire season for Jalen Ferguson. And the numbers that we saw from Gus Edwards yesterday, 16 carries, 66 rushing yards, 4.1 average, and 2 touchdowns. Obviously, the 2 touchdowns are what jumps off the charts there. But for me, I look at, there's 2 things. One of those is durability. To think it's been 2 years since we saw Gus Edwards play a football game. And he had more carries than J.K. Dobbins did in any game all season, okay? And I'm not taking this moment to rip on J.K. Dobbins by any means. That's not where I'm going with this at all. What I want to point to is just what this says about Gus Edwards, that here he was, been practicing a couple of weeks, he'd been working to get to this point, and the fact that they could count on him to do that much right away, that's great. Now, let's go to next-gen stats presented by AWS. And here's the statistics. I want to chart this for you of this situation for Gus Edwards. You can see there wasn't any big breakaway runs by any means from Gus Edwards. But what he was able to do was continue to get positive yardage, to continue to pick up little gains here and there. You can see on that chart, he didn't lose yardage once yesterday, that he was consistently moving the football throughout the day. And to me, for a guy that was coming off of injury, to have that much progress, that tells me that this guy is headed in the right direction, that things are going the right way for Gus Edwards with that 16-carry, 66-yard, 2-touchdown performance. That chart, to me, is mind-blowing in a sense, to see that a guy at this level like that could be such a downhill runner, to not let defenses back him up like that. And it also gives credit to the offensive line, too, for the offensive line to have that continued push for him to continue like that. To me, that says a lot both ways, not only about Gus Edwards in his health, and he's heading the right direction in his first game back to have that performance like that, but also the offensive line as well. So, with that, I got to ask now, if Gus Edwards can do that in game 1, it's only going to get better from here, right? You'd have to think. Is Gus Edwards the Ravens' best running back? Is he that guy now? Do you like him better than J.K., than Kenyon Drake, than Justice Hill? He's your number 1 running back at this point in time. Is he the best when all things are equal? Let me know in the comment section. Weigh in for me. Y for yes, in for no, if you think Gus Edwards is the Ravens' best running back. I'm very curious what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. So here's what Gus Edwards had to say about his first game back Sunday, and it was great to see. And just listening to this post-game news conference and what he had to say, I mean, it's hard not to get emotional, right? I mean, just the human side of this, you can't help but feel for Gus Edwards. He said, I felt good. I wanted to keep going. I wish I could have done more. It was tough. It was up and down, up and down. I wanted to get back game one, but it doesn't always work like that. It works on God's timing, and it's a lot of season left. I'm even fortunate to be playing now with the type of injury I had, and I just got to keep building off of it. So you can see Gus Edwards very humble and thankful just to have the moment that he had yesterday. And his time in Baltimore, you look back, he joined this team in 2018 after being undrafted out of Rutgers and missed all of last year with that torn ACL, began this year on the PUP list. And the Ravens were getting to a time crunch of sorts with Gus Edwards, where they had to activate him. Otherwise, he was going to have to go back to injured reserve and be done for the year. Practiced for a couple of weeks before he made his debut, and he showed up and he showed out and he had a good performance, and I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. The Ravens certainly needed another option. You can't have Lamar Jackson being the only running back essential option, running game option there. They had to have other guys so they wouldn't work their quarterback too much, and Gus Edwards looked like he was ready to go and certainly had a good performance yesterday with those 2 touchdown runs. If you made it to the end of today's video, we appreciate you. You're a real one, and we thank you for joining us here on today's edition of the Ravens Rundown. For those of you that are here, that have made it this far, go ahead and spam flock in the comment section to show yourselves out and represent. We thank you. We can't do this show without you. We'll see you next time here on Ravens Rundown.